These types of videos are pretty much a rarity on this channel, and there's reasons why I've never done them. But this month, I actually have a set TBR. I have a list of books I'm planning on read, so I want to share that with you guys. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be an unusual video because I started doing these, but then I stopped doing these. And now I have a TBR video for you guys. The reason I stopped doing TBR videos is because at the time that I started, I was borrowing a lot from the library and not finishing those. And so I felt like I mentioned these in my TBR and I never mentioned them in my wrap-up. So I just stopped doing TBR videos. And I also wasn't accumulating a lot of bought books at the time that I haven't read yet. And now I actually do have a shelf. And then some. So I now can actually start building TBRs. I'm also getting a lot more review books and finding myself falling behind with them, so I think if I'm building it TBRs, I'll be more dedicated to reading the books I have been sent for review. So here are the books for the month of October that I have on my TBR list. The first couple are books that I sent for publishers, two of which I'm really behind on sending reviews for because I got them in the summer and I need to get them done. The first one being Under a Summer Sky by Melody Carson. This is the third book in a series. I'm not too sure if I'll take out the first two and read that, but I'm gonna give this an attempt. I've been told you can read it as a standalone. I've never done that before, but I got it by accident thinking it was the first book in the series when it's actually a third book in the series. It's gonna be weird to read a summer book in the middle of October, but like I said, I'm behind in giving a review for this one, so I want to get this one done so I don't have a bad record of getting books and not reviewing them. The next book is also a review book from the same publisher, and I really wanted to read this, I just never got around to it. But it is High as the Heavens by Kate Bursling. I got this again from Bethany House Nuts About Books. It is a bit of a thicker book, but I do have an audiobook available for me for Hoopla, which I've requested, so I'm going to be reading that via audiobook. Because I find audiobooks, I just fly through books. I get to just sit there and listen to somebody read it to me. So I'm really enjoying that. So I'm going to listen to this via audiobook. The next book I want to pick up is Renegades by Thomas Locke. This is an ARC copy sent to me by Revel. I want to read it before the release date, so I'm going to read it on October. Do some reviews for you guys for the first and second book in this series and post those before the release date of this book, which is out November 7th. So I'm going to post that before the release date. So this was one I was holding off until about October to read. The rest of the books are just books that I want to pick up or books that I have availability for even some audiobooks for. So the first one is The Butterfly and the Violin by Christy Cambron. A lot of people recommended this to me after I did my World War II recommendations video. So I picked it up through Book Outlet, but it's also available as a free ebook through my library through Hoopla. So I'm going to be reading this via audiobook because again, I just really enjoy sitting there while someone else does the reading for me and then throw in some physical reading at the same time. So I can read more books during the month if I throw in some audiobooks. I am terrible at synopsis, but you guys can link through my Goodreads link down below and you can check out all the books that I'm currently reading for that month and then check out the synopsis through there because I think Goodreads does a better job of it than I do. The next book is our Coffee&Chapters and Christian YA book club pick for October, and that is Reintegration by Ashley Bogner. Ashley is one of our book club members and she wrote a book and got it published or self-published. So we decided as a book club to throw her some support and read it for the month of October. I've started it actually. I'm actually 5 chapters in currently and I'm really liking it. I like where this is going. I'm getting the feel of it. It has pulled me in, so that's always a good sign. If I feel like I'm not pulled into a book by the 5th chapter, then I feel like it's going to be a drag to read a book, but I'm pulled in already by chapter 5, so that's a good sign for me for reading. So I've mentioned we have a Twitter and Instagram account now for our book club, so if you guys follow us on there, you'll follow all of the news for any live shows that we announce, so make sure to follow us. I'll leave the links down below for that as well, and we'll announce the live show for Reintegration probably beginning of November. The next book is another audiobook that I want to get off of Audible, and this is one that I want to use my credit for, and that is Illusionarium by Heather Dixon. This is the author of Entwined, so this is one of her second book she's written. I attempted to read it once before, but I found it really slow going, so I'm going to try it with an audiobook and see if I can stay focused with that, because it's still really fascinating. It's a steampunk-ish story, so it's still got some really good elements that I want to read, and I've been really intrigued by it, just really bored at first, so I'm hoping the audiobook will keep my attention for it. The next book is one I'm also getting from my library, and this is Bloodline by Claudia Gray. This is Claudia Gray's, I think, her first Star Wars book that she did before Lost Stars, and I really enjoyed Leia, and I read over half of Lost Stars and didn't like it. But people had some really, really good things to say about Bloodline, so I'm going to be giving that a go. And again, it's focusing on Leia, so it's focusing on already established Star Wars characters. And my library has the CD audiobook for this. As you can tell, I'm trying to go as free as possible with audiobooks. So they have the CD audiobook of this, so I'm going to be giving this one a go as well. I just have to go to my library and pick it up because it's ready for me to pick up. So that might sound a little ambitious, but those are all the books that I'm wanting to get to in October, especially the review books or books I'm going to push myself to get done. I'm really excited for all of these. I know most of the time I'm a mood reader, but I'm pretty okay with setting myself a TBR for this month. And I think a lot of that is to do with my new addiction audiobooks. I just really enjoy how fast I get through books with that, and I don't know why I didn't pick them up before. So in the comments below, let me know what you guys are reading this month. Are you guys joining us for our book club pick of Reintegration? If you are, we do have a discussions page on our Goodreads page. Plus, let me know in the comments below so we can talk about as we're reading it. If you guys are having trouble getting it, I'll link the Amazon link down below for you guys to get it. It was pretty easy for me as a Canadian to order it through Amazon.com, so I'm hoping it shouldn't be too hard internationally, but I'll leave that linked down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!